Hello, and it's Jack from Big Boy Toys for Jack, and here is my collection of Trackmaster Thomas and Friends engines and rolling stock. The rolling stock I may show properly in a different video on what engine they go with, but for today I want to focus on the engines. And I want to show you the differences between the American / British engines and the Japanese, and what's different, what one's a bit more recommendable, and etc, etc. So let's start things off with my I would say more British Edward, even though it's probably not Japanese, American. Now straight away, that the way the Edward is powered is by his tender. That's one thing to note. The splash of white that would have been on the TV models is not on his running board, and there's lots of detail, but not a lot is painted. Like the lamp irons are not even painted, they missed that out, and there's not much else detail to look at on Edward. So I'll move. So if the camera's a bit wonky, still getting used to holding cameras in my hand a bit better. Moving on with Thomas. Now straight away you can tell it's a tank engine, and even though there's not going to be much of a difference between the power of the tender engine of what was to a tank engine that is now and forever, that the one thing I mentioned on Edward, which I'm going to mention on this one, that Thomas actually has a white running board, and this was not painted by me, this was done by Japan, and they filled in the detail that America would have missed, and they just fixed all the kinks and bugs of the original, and they kept it to the original design on the inside. I will have to find a way to hide brands on the batteries, but apart from that, I will sort that Thomas out in a little while, but that's one small difference that you notice, and the better way to show the differences between America and Japan is with my James models. Now the one here is battery powered by tender, while the one up the back is powered by within the boiler. They use the same Tommy wheels, but if you look closely, the detail on the Japanese one is a bit more noticeable, and the one on the American one's just a bit plain, is the better way to say it. And the one thing that I like about the Japanese ones, you can actually disattach the tender, unlike the original American ones you cannot. If you cut that, you're going to cut the power to the engine, so that sucks. So I'll move both Jameses out of the way for the moment, and I'll show you one more big differences between the Japanese engines and the American ones, is where the switch is on the engine. For this I'll be using my Streamline Thomas, and one of my two Japanese Gordons or actually I won't, because I was going to get original Gordon, but I couldn't afford it, so I'm going to have to go with Henry, because I think that would have been the same mould or similar mould. Anyway, where the switch sits, there's a differences on how it turns on and off. For Henry, it's just the simple flick, but for Thomas, it's more of a slide motion, and there are 3 modes on these engines, where you got high, on and off, and that's why I was using this one, because it's a bit harder to get it in the right place, but it will pretty much do what I want it to do, unlike the American version, which has the clunky gears. And last thing to note is the which ones are my favourites and why. My favourite ones would have to be, at the moment, the Japanese ones, because they don't have the clunky gears. They have Tomy and Trackmaster traction tyres, rather than those horrid clunky spiked wheels I just never like. So I'd say that my Streamline Thomas is my most favourite, because of the 3-speed, well, the 2 speeds it has, as well as the off to make it stop. And no one would have known it, but Percy's as well as my Japanese James would be my favourites, for that they got more detail, they don't have the clunky wheels, and there's a lot more to see on them. Even though they're more CGI, it doesn't matter to me, as long as I have a collection like this, I'm happy. So that's all I'm going to show you for now, because this video's gone on long enough. So I better be going, and bye for now.